of the questions. Okay. All right, it is 5:30 and we are going to have our special meeting for our board district director district #1 interview. Right, good. Okay. All right, welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for coming. Aaron said you do have the questions and we will each read one of the questions for you. Are we all ready? All right. Are you ready, sir?
I'm ready.
All right.
You want to do a quick introduction?
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah, that's
we
fine.
the name badge is in front. So Aaron Hansen, superintendent.
Ida Royer, I am District 4, which is above Jump to Guard and then that way.
I'm Sadie McKenzie. I'm the board chair and I'm Sunset Ridge.
Okay.
Jay Long, District 2, Upriver.
We're District 5, so think Woodburn Hill and then all of the top of Mount Norway, including community center up over.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Dane and I have some big kind of swaths, line and then there's.
All right.
All right.
Great red choices. Glad to be here.
Thank you for coming. All right, we'll start with our first question. Your application has given us a general idea about why you want to become a member of the Washougal School Board of Directors. Will you please elaborate on the contributions you feel you can make to the board?
Well, I don't want to jump to clear to the bottom, but for the team player, but I'm a team player. I have a variety of experiences from business owner. I'm a 30-year teacher, almost 30 years in the teaching career in tech ed. You have some of my former students working in the district
Love
now.
that.
We just talked to Kayla Payne and a few of the others, but so I have that experience. So I bring that part in. I'm a business owner. I'm have had catering companies for many years. Currently not catering, but I still have a business where we have food at the fair. And so I still have that. I'm actively a consultant. I work with an organization, Hospitality International Services, and they work in Asia. And I'm one of their primary consultants in Asia, and I'm working on a project in South Korea, which is education. And we took something very career in tech ed and brought it to Asia and set it up, and then eventually built restaurants and started plugging our students into restaurants and hotels. So let's see, you elaborate on the contribution. So if I can bring all those things together, I'm a team player, and I have education in from boots on the ground to administration. So, and because be a good fit for them. I'm excited about the opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I'll ask the next question. So it's a two-part question. As a board director, you are a bridge between the district and the public. In a community with diverse and often divided interests, what is your plan for staying accessible to your constituents? Do you want me to ask both, or do you want to answer one at a time?
Yeah, let's do one at a time.
Okay.
Well, I have been 40 plus years in Camas, living in Camas, and I have been months living here on the Washougal side and the brighter side of the mountain here. And what I have discovered is that if I meet someone in any one of my roles as a volunteer, I will work at the food bank. I do a number of volunteer things around. I'm going to meet them at Safeway. And so I just think just being open, and I understand, and I'm taking this, I put in my application knowing that if I was accepted, that not everyone is going to fall on the same side of the coin. And I recognize that this board, any school district, has some difficult decisions ahead of them because it's changing, because how we've known it is changing. And you know, I kind of welcome people expressing their opinions. Sometimes you have to let them vent out in order to get to what's really bothering you here. So you can't have thin skin to the choice of words sometimes that happen. You have to have a little bit thicker skin, but be open and flexible.
Great. And then when you receive conflicting input, how do you weigh those individual opinions against the responsibility of making a decision that serves the student body as a whole?
Well, you know, our state legislators, the number may have changed, but if you call, write, email, stop them on the street and express an opinion, their belief is that 100 people believe the same way that you believe, but they don't contact. And so I think that it's good to listen to what people have to say, because there's you know a group of people behind them, no matter what they're expressing, that are going to believe the same way that how they're telling you. It may not be, you know, may not be exactly what you want to hear when you're just trying to pick up ice cream, but there it is. You know, you got to pause and listen.
Thank you. Turn it over to Jane.
Yeah. So one of our primary goals is to provide a solid academic foundation that prepares students for beyond, whether that's going to be college, skilled trades, or the military. We've mapped out specific milestones from kindergarten readiness to dual credit opportunities in high school. How do you see the board's role in monitoring these measurements of progress to ensure no student falls through the cracks?
That's really important. And a lot of what I read in the material that I was given was about the benchmarks and the checkpoints and establishing those, following up. And I've been thinking about it a lot. That, you know, looking at the kids that do slip through, and how can we catch those in? And, you know, and I realize that there's almost 3,000 students. But at the same time, it has a small town feel. There has to be a way, and I know you have your checkpoints that we can always look at and those standards, but there has to be a way to incorporate the kids that are struggling. You know, from my perspective, a lot of kids that were struggling academically came to career and tech ed, found themselves, and went back home and cleaned their room and started studying and doing well in school. We always told parents we couldn't promise they'd ever clean the room, but that was just something that kind of happened organically, and they would start studying. So I think getting them in the right place, you know, it's a one-on-one. 3,000 sounds like a lot, but I think there's a way of seeing them. Yeah, thank you.
All right, Greg, I have another two-part question for you. Board members each bring their own areas of expertise, knowledge, and experience to the board. Diverse ideas and opinions are welcome, but the most effective boards work as a team. The Washougal Board of Directors values the respectful teamwork that has been developed over time. First question, do you have an experience to share that illustrates your ability to work as a member of a team?
So many, but the one that I'll go with is the culinary program that I taught in the Evergreen School District at Cascadia Technical Academy. There were 2 instructors, and there were 2 support staff. We took our program as culinary. We were a chef federated program. We were at one point probably in the top 5 in the nation for where we took our program with the American Chefs Federation. That's national and international, located in Florida, but they were the ones that monitored us. We added the baking program and ended up being one of the top programs in the nation. We didn't do that on ourselves. That was a team. Wouldn't have been able to do it. We were running events. The restaurant sat 150 people, and we were busy. All the plates were spinning, but that was working with really a high level team. The group work I do with the group in Asia is also very team.
Thank you. So the second part of the question, how would you respond if you disagreed with the decision that was made by the board?
That's it. I'm out.
We always agree.
Yeah, that's just part and parcel, you know. I may be that guy on the other side of the coin too, so yeah, I think back to the first, to the first question, you just listen, people take what they have to offer, balance it. The most important, we have the goals, what the goals are. Students are primary and student improvement. And so whatever road that we choose to get there doesn't have to be my way or the highway. I'm here to learn from you at this point.
Thank you.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, last one. Do you have any questions for us, or is there something that you would like to add that you would like the board to know as they consider your application?
I see my checkpoints that I wanted to tell you. Teacher for 30 years. I volunteer at the Sugar Food Bank, Cascadia Technical Academy. I'm a food volunteer for there. Just discovered that you have a food service program for senior citizens near in here, and so I haven't found my way there yet, but I will to try to get involved in that. I'm interested in doing this. I'd like to work with you to try to move the marble forward a little bit, and yeah, I'm available. I don't have any questions. Sure that will happen.
It will.
So, yeah, but thank you.
Okay, well, thank you. We are now going to go into executive session. It is 5:44. Board will now meet in executive session to discuss the qualifications of a candidate for the appointment to elect an officer pursuant to RSW 423011018. The board will be in executive session until 6:15. The board is expected to take further action following this executive session. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
So step out or
You can stay here.
okay.
We're gonna step out.
You're more than, if you want to, if you want to go for a walk, you can, and we're going to go into a conference room, and we'll be back at 6:15.
Okay, great. Thank you. And that one, could end. We may get some snow. They say down on the valley floor. Yeah,
I had hail and it was in afterwards yesterday, but. That's what Kim said yesterday. She told me today that there was hail at our house yesterday. Yeah, I was just, and he's got here and it was very light. I walked out and that's some hard rain.
I have no idea what to expect up on the hill where we live
yeah.
up there. Nothing but the worst is in my mind for it.
50 feet, but it's about to be spring. I know.
Yeah, well, we got one of the worst ones in April. You know, a number of years back when we thought it was behind us, and I lived in Colorado for many years and I would come over.
So we don't need you to be in the recording while they're in the,
I would.
Right, it is 6:15 and I call the special meeting back to order. All right. Thank you for coming and thank you for allowing us to go and take that time to chat. Does anybody have anything that they want to share with what we've chatted about or? Sure.
I really feel like the experience that you got, both with CTE and then just working with the different groups that you've worked with and volunteering, can really bring a whole lot of perspective and insights to this board. So I'm excited that you bring that.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yeah, and then I'll go. I really appreciate, Greg, when you were talking about like how you keep an eye and see if kids are struggling, right? And then find options for them, right? And your example of like, hey, get them into CTE, get them into some program. Next thing you know, they go home and they clean their rooms, right? Like that's just a great example of seeking the higher level, right? Like seeking a place to take these kids and something to do with them, right? And you said that a few times in your responses that it's about the kids, and that's why we're all here. So I think that came through pretty loud and clear.
Yeah, same. Those are all the same things that I wrote down too, is the CTE background. I love that you have family in Washougal. You know the area, you know the community. Very important. Like you said, can't go to Safeway without running into somebody. So once people get to know you even more, you got to put headphones in, otherwise you're going to just be there for hours. But, yeah, those are great things to have, and we're excited.
Yeah, and I appreciate your willingness to listen to people and differences. And I think in this community, there is diversity. Frankly, that's why I like living here. Because I feel like when you have differences, then the best rises to the top. So I do appreciate your perspective on that as well.
Thank you.
Sorry. So with that, I move to appoint Greg to the board.
I second that.
Okay, we'll do a roll call.
I vote that we appoint him to the board.
Aye.
Aye.
Oh, I said I. Oh, no, that was, okay, we're good. Okay. I was like, wait, was that right? All right, motion to appoint Greg Retchless to the board. Washougal School Board, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
Yay. So I think we were talking about if you are willing, if you wanted to join us, right, up here?
I
Or
think
do we have
Aaron's
to-
gonna swear him in.
So if that is the case, we can do the oath of office right now.
Oh, sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Nothing like.
Okay.
We're gonna get you before
Starting.
you.
Yeah.
Great.
Kathy.
Joining you right there. You solemnly swear
You solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the state of Washington and the laws of the state of Washington.
and the state of Washington and the laws of the state of Washington.
I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Washington School District.
I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of Washougal School District
Director, District 1, to the best of my ability.
Director, District 1, to the best of my ability. Yeah, thank you.
So we were hoping
Yay.
that you could join us. We're there, that one spot that's available.
Absolutely.
That work?
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
We'll have a plaque ready for you shortly, short.
I'm surprised she didn't have it ready already.
That's hilarious.
Love it.
Right. And then we quit till 6:30, right?
Yes.
Yes, you know, with time.
Your
Congratulations.
face.
So,
Thanks.
yeah. So we'll probably go with this arrangement.
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, and then we'll have a name stand for you and she's throwing it next board meeting.
You're not on the end anymore.
I am not. Just so you know, the camera points right at you. Right.
Aaron, you need to turn those guys in. right?
Yes, if you need to collect those.
The,
Oh, yeah.
and then grab, that takes you to my note.
Did I need to put my name on it?
You have to sign, comes in here.
Oh, I didn't find it. How'd you fit it? I don't even see that. I think I threw that.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
No, it's on the back of this,
Hi, Marley.
the single page thing.
I
It's
don't do that
today.
either. What's today? Oh, here, oh, no, this is fall. We're gonna do the back today.
3/9.
So we sent out the agenda.
Okay, oh wait, I got it. It's this, it's the checklist.
310.
It wasn't just me.
Lots of stuff to read.
Where's mine?
Yeah.
That we read and then typically we don't talk about it. You do.
Today, the
No, not a theater person.
Okay.
believe it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna,
Just gonna.
mine is like
Go
all
back and
slightly related. I wanna talk about the GPS stuff.
Drinking from fire, but then it's sort of like you kind of hit the thing that we need something from.
Is there something definitely that you want to talk about?
It's something that I've had like on my mind, and then I realized like, oh, here.
Yeah, I like it. Good.
Over the acronyms there. There's a lot of it.
Get rid of that.
Everything.
Being here.
Thank you.
Like it from
So.
Nike, Tom 3 years, et cetera. But we have a shared footwear is its own thing, right? So you're going like, no, it's the same. It's just, well, you know, the CTV's.
You wanna?
How are you?
Well, you know,
Good.
Good daughter.
when are you out of the booth?
Friday.
Friday.
So ready. I went to the mall today because I had returns, then I had to go to Costco, and after that, I was like, no, I think it's easier without the boot. But I have to wait. I've been following all the rules, so I don't get like a setback. But yeah.
You should have one of those like scooter things.
Oh, I do.
Oh, you do?
I have an e-scooter. I just, it just makes me feel really old when I have that e-scooter. And so, I mean, it's kind of fun to do it when I'm in school or something, but other than that, it's a pain to get in and out of my car and stuff.
That makes sense.
But it is fun though. And my kids ride it around my house all the time. Other than that, it kind of sits.
Old trails.
I agree. I get
I
it.
think they have stakes. They do an influence. Hiking is.
You are free to. I wonder if they do have a couple of kids.
That's the answer on that.
And look,
We're always.
Yeah.
Keep selling, right? And there, it's like.
They just.
Right.
Waiver and file. We went from trying.
Yeah, so we were.
We already,
Yeah, so check this out.
this too.
They were asking.
Oh shit, it's like, oh, wait, wrong emails.
Would find those.
Calendar.
That's not even my real
That
calendar.
would be anxiety.
They'd be in their house and.
This is.
Here's the.
But- Well, that makes me twitch. I know. And I'm twitching over that.
Now you understand why I'm like, do we really do this? But
No, yeah. I
like
think
it built all this for
Yeah.
Open.
So this is every single person on it, and it's pulling in all of their emails, all of their calendars. So it's keeping a high level, but then it's supposed to.
Held it.
Just have your gear.
Austin's not gonna be here, and then, you know.
And actually gives me like what's going on, any red flags. Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. And then.
So what is that?
how about the GTA?
It's linked, so because, so what I did was, push it in, they had to download, or they do. A really detailed, and they don't do anything. It runs
Yeah.
automatically. Everybody on this team below me, like they each have their own line, so like if you go into Erica. And then she's really detailed. Higher action. First of all.
And then she doesn't update that.
She doesn't touch it.
Do anything?
It all runs in the background. Yep, and then like I have
Hey,
this that runs for me, so like this was my today, so this sends to me every day at 4:30, and also emails my agent. So it pulls up all of our calendars, all of our things for like what's going on. Also, like this is a text thing I had this morning, it pulls up all of my previous notes and any open. Any email threads to like prep me for it, and like
Yeah.
So you're ready without having to get ready.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, no prep time.
So we'll probably make sure,
I mean,
it's just.
I love it, but I mean,
Yourselves.
the others.
If you plug it into your personal stuff, you could literally be like, "Cloud, I need you to make sure that I got doctor's appointment for all of the kids. Here's their school schedule, here's this,
Yeah.
we'll go and do it."
That's just crazy.
It's the best. You can count on it. I'm
I
sure
love it.
I'll hate it right now. So much that I don't have to pay for.
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
so it pays for it.
Yeah,
Let's see what else. we
Is
can
it
do.
expensive?
I mean,
I'm sure the executive side of it is. for
well, you
sure.
have, I mean,
That's doing
we have an
it.
enterprise license. I have no idea how much that costs. I mean, you can actually go in and see,
Yeah.
is it my?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's.
But it's like the more you make it, it does charge you extra.
It's doing a lot for you. I mean, it's
So they send it
senior.
to us.
I mean, in a week, I've spent $270, but I've probably saved 29 hours.
In the long run, you know.
Holy
Yeah,
Some of these will just be like.
Wow.
habits.
that's pretty rad.
It is. It is a female meeting.
Must be committee.
4 minutes. Well,
Yeah, not.
we haven't seen you in a while.
So.
Good to see you.
And we can.
What have you been up to?
Unless they turn the mic on.
Are you loving it?
Yes, I do. No.
Just a second meeting.
What events do you do?
Yeah,
Here it's just.
I kind of decided last minute I'm gonna.
Whoa,
June one.
that's a lot.
So like after.
Have you done this every year?
What's the sign up for June?
We deleted it or we had red text.
I haven't even signed up, yet, but I don't think it's. I think there's like a certain point, if you like sign up a little bit late, then you have to pay extra, but I think it's like pretty much.
Mhm.
This first time they actually take the March one, and I was like, oh, I'll sign up, and then I don't.
Like 4 days.
I know. Yeah, we're still gonna sign up for it, like,
I think I'm gonna read the proclamation.
I said, every day.
I like it.
Yeah, I'm not a sprinter. I'm a long distance runner. I did the 800. That was my thing. I'm not fast, but I can go for a long time.
What's that?
You can't.
I don't
My
think
husband
that, I don't think
he
it's.
ran all of the fast.
I
sprints,
do.
but he
I don't-
got like tens of awards at the airport, and I'm like, no.
When's the party?
We'll see. We'll see what our youngest is. They're track
By
runners,
then we ought to have
but
everything done.
it'll be his first year. So great.
April's a good birthday.
They don't do first.
Conference week?
When's your birthday? What school did she go to?
Okay. Oh,
So does my
Aries. My
Hayden.
daughter and I are both.
He didn't
both
mean to-
headed Tauruses, so.
He's blonde. He looks like me. Blonde hair,
For some.
super long eyelashes, sassy. Just kidding.
Fantastic.
What's your sister's name? I know Amelia. Oh my gosh, they've been in the same class forever. Oh, yeah. I didn't realize that.
Jefferson.
Oh,
But then
yeah.
he gave the.
I totally know who she is.
All kinds.
Because I used to volunteer all
Which my
the time.
daughter did great.
Yeah.
Kind of tough to tell. 'cause they're-
She will know who
but it's like
Kaden is.
pale
Like that.
purple.
Yeah.
And
They-
they fun.
They have a love-hate relationship.
It's like, yes, I'm just like, no.
I know
And
that
that's
name.
actually their bed, so there's gonna be a little railing.
It's
That's-
right of passage.
What is that even with that? It's a double team ceiling. What do you guys do?
And then 2 years from
They're
now, when
hanging, they're
like,
hanging,
no,
like
then
walking down the hall
Yeah,
at the same time.
I repeated the twins after they did their initials and they're like, oh, we just get like a.
How do you feel about that?
I'm in.
And I would, again, not have a problem with
Yeah.
18. else. You
Yeah.
did that. Like, I don't think that.
Ruins your time. Okay. All right, we've got 1 minute.
What happens if you start a minute early? Like,
Well, it
Guys.
depends. Think,
So it doesn't matter for this meeting because the meeting started at 5:30.
okay.
Oh, so we can start.
Thank you.
That's the other thing.
It's that 5 minutes ago.
In a normal meeting, you can't start before the posted start time
Gotcha.
because people will miss the work that you're doing. So
Okay.
because we advertise it that way, you, like, that's the one, like, that's one really fun one.
Got it.
Okay. All right.
but for the same reason, people plan for 6:30, so they'd be disappointed if we started early.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is sharp.
I mean, devastated.
For all the people that tune in. All right, are we ready then?
Yes.
All right, let's get started. Are we gonna do are we gonna do pledge allegiance?
Yes.
Okay, all right, let's stand for pledge allegiance.
That's a meeting.
Oh.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. Welcome to our work session. We have a new member on the board tonight. Yay. All right, we will get started first. It looks like our student reps are up first.
Yes, I was hoping that because Greg is new to us, that he would have an opportunity to share with the students a little bit of context about who you are, and they would do the same because they've already shared with the board a little bit of background. But if you could just kind of revisit that with a board member, that'd be great. So maybe maybe Marley, you could lead off with that, and then Greg, you could end the introductions, and then we'll start with our questions.
Yeah, so my name is Marley Weaver. I'm a junior and I'm heavily involved in ASB, which is like our leadership class at the high school. I also play varsity soccer and yeah. All this.
My name is Jacob Larslier. I am the FBLA Future Business Leaders of America president at Washington High School. I'm also part of Peer Connections, which is a student outreach group. And then I am the city council student representative as well. I'm a junior. Okay.
My name is Olivia Rios. I'm a sophomore at my high school. I started off volunteering with Unite, and I'm an ambassador. I'm a part of staff ambassador program at high school.
Great. Thank you. My name is Greg Retchless, and I am a 30-year teacher in career and technical education. We have a restaurant management program that I team taught at the Clark County Skills Center or Cascadia Technical Academy. So 45-year resident of Clark.
Great. Okay, so we asked the students to share some specific information. I think Marley actually would like to talk about GPAs,
Yes.
right? And then Jacob, you, I think, got back to me, and we're gonna, I think your response was, that's a good question. And so you're gonna provide a little context, and I'm not sure, Olivia, I think you get a chance to check in with you.
The first question.
Yeah.
I was really stuck on I answered all the other ones.
Okay,
Could not figure out what one I had the first.
okay,
question.
great. Well, we'll then go with the ones you have. Okay, Marley, you want to lead off?
Sure. So I wanted to talk about a little bit about the GPA system at the high school because it is a unweighted system. And as a student who is like high performing, I get mostly A's. And I think that our school district could really benefit from a weighted GPA system. And I know that that's not really as common in the state of Washington as other states, but I think that it could be really beneficial for our school district because, well, first of all, for like class rank and stuff, if you take harder classes like AP classes or like college and the high school classes, they don't weigh any more than just like the normal classes. And I feel like it's not to undermine like people who take regular classes, but it can feel unfair that students who take those classes and might have like an easier course load can be ranked higher than students who get like maybe B's or an A- in the harder classes. And it kind of undermines their hard work. And then a specific example of how an unweighted GPA system is not as beneficial is one that I got from one of my friends who's like, she's really good at soccer. She plays club. And right now she's looking to be signed into a D1 university. And like college scouts get a paper with all of the team's like GPAs on it. And a lot of her teammates have a weighted GPA. So they have like a 4.3 or a 4.2 or something. And she has a 3.95. So she's a good student. She gets mostly A's, but she appears to have a lower GPA compared to her team,
Okay.
which affects how she looks to colleges. And this is not just for sports. This could affect students, like all students applying for colleges or other programs like internships, apprenticeships in the high school, just compared to other students who might have a weighted GPA system. Yeah, even if we weren't to switch to a weighted GPA system, I think that it would be helpful to have like an easy way to calculate your weighted GPA in Skyward or a grading website, just because, yeah, that'd be nice to know.
I don't think legally in Washington we can do a weighted GPA on
Okay.
transcripts. Is that correct?
It is correct as far as the official transcript. However, there is a place on the transcript where additional information can be placed.
And even if
So-
we can't do it on the transcript, could we still use a weighted GPA for things like she's talking about like who's valedictorian, et cetera?
Yes,
'Cause that-
yes, absolutely, because that is not, that's not a part of the graduation requirements, 24 credits. That's something addition that a building or a school district does. So we absolutely could look into like what can go on a transcript. Great point that in the state of Washington, and to your point that maybe that's done in other states and it's a part of their official transcript, which is a disadvantage. And so universities have a way of calculating like what, so they're comparing similar scoring and weighting. And then as far as the other decisions and recognition that happens, whether it's the top 10 or the top 5%, salutatorian, valedictorian, that process can incorporate whatever the building or the school district determines is, that's how the criteria for those particular. So certainly is a conversation. I'm not sure if you've spoken with Mr. Castle about this, but I'm sure he'd be open to having discussion about it. And it's something that when you change the practice, you think about like, what cohort would you want to start doing that? Because if your current students are experienced and used to seeing, and parents are used to seeing it done one way, and then you change during that 4 years, or those specific students are affected by that. And so planning goes into it. So if there was a change, we'd want to do it like an incoming ninth grade
freshman.
group. And then it's this cohort that would experience any kind of revisions to what was the practice. Really good point. I appreciate you bringing that up. And so do you want to talk to Mr. Castle about it?
I will get.
Okay. Great, then I won't say anything to him. I'll let you
Okay.
share that news.
Let us know, for sure, let us know what he says.
Sure.
Thank you.
I'd like to second her point. I also agree with her because I am not the greatest student ever, but I get B's. And when I take an AP class and I get a B, and the other kid takes the normal class and he gets a B, and we have the same GPA, I'm kind of like, I don't know, man. You did not do as much work as I did. But yeah, so if you want another student to go with you, I'll go with you. But anyway, I was mostly going to focus on standardized testing, just because, well, truthfully, I care most about student engagement. But really, other than dangling food in front of their faces, I haven't found a good way to engage students, and so I'm not one to advise you guys on how to do it either. So I just think that for standardized testing, I think that the question was kind of like what factors outside of straight academic achievements contribute to our test scores. And I think that honestly, largely, kids knowing the context of the test that they're taking is the greatest effector of how they take it and what score they get. Because, for example, at the beginning of this year in my English class, we had to take a Savas Realize standardized test, which is kind of just to get an idea of where my grade's at in general. My bad. And the kids know that it's not NAO, it's just to see where they're at. And it's 30 questions. It's going to take you the period, maybe 2 periods. And so guess what a lot of the kids in my class did? They just clicked through it. And then, oh, I got a 1, but it's an LO. So I got an F that's worth 0.5% of my grade. I don't care, right? And then for the kids that do take it, then it's kind of like, well, I actually tried, and then the data skewed, and it's also, I feel like I wasted my time in taking a class period to answer 30 questions when some of the kids did in 10 and they played on their phone for the rest of class, you know? And then also the other big one is the SBAC test. A lot of students, I know that it's part of our high graduation plan, but a lot of students don't care about it because they know that really it doesn't impact them. And that, I mean, my understanding is that it's part of how like the state or the national level decides how to fund the schools. And kind of is like a checkpoint to make sure that we're on pace with schools around us and in general throughout the nation. And as soon as, in my experience, kids learned that that's all it's about, they stopped caring. There's a lot of kids that like they get twos, they get three, low threes, and they're just like, okay, whatever. And I think that it could be used more so as a tool for students to kind of know where they're at. And since it's not branded that way, it's just, oh, it's something you've had to do since you were in third grade. A lot of kids just don't care anymore. And especially by now, most kids just dread it and then they do it and they click through it and then it's over with and they don't care. And so I think for a lot of standardized tests like that, it's a lot less. The data skewed because students don't care. And the reason students don't care is because it's not, in my opinion, presented properly. We could do a better job of kind of branding it to them as like an actual opportunity to know where they're at. And less so it's just something they have to do so that, so the state knows where we're at, That's my input on that. And then for school health metrics, I think that really something that we need to pay attention to as a district for our health metric is not how often kids are attending class, but actually retention within their class. Because a lot of kids, they'll sit there for attendance, they'll make a pass, they'll go get water, and then they're out of the classroom for 20 minutes. And what they do, and our security's back there, so you guys should be listening to this. What they do is they say, hey, buddy, when it hits 3 minutes and a half, stop my pass. And then their buddy will, at 3 minutes and a half, stop their pass. And security won't come because they think that they're back in class. So unless they see them and recognize them, they don't get caught. And so I think that our actual classroom retention is even lower than our already, I think, for my what I know, below average attendance rates. And so when kids aren't staying in class, they're not learning. But the other thing too is also just kids like paying attention during class, like all their notes and stuff. But yeah, so I just think that maybe if we were to try harder to actually make sure the kids are staying in class when they say they're in class, that would probably be helpful for just knowing how actually healthy, especially at the high school. I'm sure it's probably not an issue at all at the elementary school level and probably barely at the middle school level. But at the high school level, it's a really big issue, especially as you get older and further into high school, or you just take easy classes and you have nothing to do. So you get up and meet for 20 minutes and it doesn't matter. But yeah, that's what I have to share.
Okay, so the question was about assessments and as you described, like almost how do we incentivize these standardized tests that and Jacob mentioned the smarter balance. So starting the third grade and then through the junior year, I think junior is when the science test is, and sophomores take the ELA and the math assessment, and they are very important because as we talk later, I will share some information on a metric the state has just recently published that has these state assessment results. And each one of our schools are really judged on the progress or the student improvement from year to year, the cohort improvement percentile, as well as the overall scores and what those percentages are. And attendance is factored in. It's just 5%. And then depending on different subgroups, there can be percentages if you have students, like the population of students receiving ELL support, multilingual support, that can be factored into this overall composite score. So yeah, part of it is, do students know that it's important to the school district, to the school, because that's how we are. All that information is published and it's live to the world. And then the state just recently published the school districts that are that receive recognition. So there's 25, actually total of 46 school districts out of 295 that are receiving special recognition because of their scores and their improvement or their overall scores. So it is something that we are certainly tracking because, as you point out, is funding a part of it? Not necessarily, but the state of Washington's compared to all the other states using similar assessments. So these standardized tests are important for that reason. Now, I don't know that is going to influence a third grader or a fourth grader, or it sounds like a 10th grader. So then what is? And incentivizing, giving it your all, doing your best. So how does that happen? and you make it worthwhile, you make it important to the individual who takes it. So definitely things that we are talking about, and then also understanding the test. So all these tests are done using Chromebooks or iPads, understanding the test, getting used to the test. So test-like questions. And so we are having these conversations about how do we make it more important, because in many cases, we don't like the results. And we don't like when a student takes 10 minutes to complete a test that's designed to take closer to an hour, 75 minutes.
We
So-
could bribe them with pizza or something, but we don't know that.
Yeah,
That the kids
Yeah.
are actually taking, like you said, they may just bust through the questions and not.
and Dina at Gauze did do that. She said, oh, on these interim assessments,
Yeah,
if you show improvement individually, each person who shows improvement will get something. I can't remember exactly what it was. And then if a class shows improvement, then they will get, you
that's
know,
right. I remember.
yeah, some sort of like a
Yeah.
pizza party, some or
Yeah.
extra recess, something
Mhm.
to incentivize that. So you think, well, is that what you have to do these days? Well, I don't know. You think about it.
Bribery goes along.
What do adults, how are we incentivized? Does that work for adults? It does in many
Yeah.
ways. Yes, do your best.
Extra PTO.
I work for
Free.
candy.
Oh,
I mean, I'm
yes.
good for candy.
Absolutely. Okay, thank you. Yeah, pretty good. So that was Ida's question, and I appreciate
Yeah.
you. And all board members, you have an opportunity to ask questions of our students. My ask is that you funnel them through me. I won't change them, but I will then, the email will come from me.
Okay.
And so that's what, in this case, so I appreciate that. And if you just give me a little bit of time, although I have sent questions to them the day of. So that's not what their preference would be, to have a few days, I think, to process the question. Thank you. Olivia.
Yeah.
What do you have to share with us?
The other question?
Yeah, whatever you'd like to share.
Can I do both of them?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so the next question was, do you have any ideas on how to engage and involve students? And it's not like in full detail, but a few ways to engage and involve with them, I would say would be more open classroom discussions. And encourage students to more frequently to join clubs. And I know that people like on the announcements, they say like there's the clubs on Thursdays. Is it the Thursday clubs? Like the green team and like chess club. But I feel like if it was more talked about with teachers, I feel like that would be more like more helpful to get them involved. Along with more hands-on group activities. And I would say with that, it would probably be better with people like how teachers, I mean, like teachers kind of know like who are friends in class and like who hang out with each other. So to pair up people who don't really hang out with each other, like to engage with new people. That was my idea for that. And then the next one were, are there any things that you think, are there any other things that you think the school board should be paying attention to in order to evaluate the health in our schools? And I think a way to evaluate the health of our students is by the teachers taking a survey or filling out a Google form on how their classrooms are. And what I mean by that is how students interact with each other and how they get along, and how many students don't really talk to people. So there's some students that like really just don't talk to people. And there might be a reason behind that, because maybe the teachers aren't realizing that there's students being like bullied in the class. And that does happen in my sixth period. I do see like there's a lot of kids making fun of other kids, and it's really like you can see that it really puts them down. And sometimes you can like kind of notice like the teacher does notice it but doesn't really say anything. But it happens a lot more than you might think. And I feel like that could cause also that like students' attendance to go down. Cause with the student that like I see it happening to, she's never really at school anymore. And it also happens like online. So I think by teachers feel sorry. I think by teachers filling out those surveys or Google Forms on how they could even go on the students' behalf, like are you being bullied at school? And if so, like how do you think like how are ways that you think it'd make it better for you? Or I just feel like teachers should be more aware of it. And if the teachers aren't aware of it, I think it's good to make you guys aware of it because it's a big problem and it could cause really big damage to some a student's mental health.
She's talking about a survey that students would complete about that class, or the teachers will be completing a survey?
It could go both ways. Teachers about how teachers noted like how how the teachers view their classrooms, not just academic wise, but how the students get along with each other and how the students feel connecting with their peers or how like I didn't really think the whole student went through so much, but with the teachers, I think it'd be best to do on how they view their classrooms and how they see the students getting along. And it could even be like maybe like connecting, like, for example, if my teacher noticed that this person was being bullied and noticed that their attendance was going down, maybe separating the two students, maybe that would help with their attendance.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you can send me an email, which class that is.
Okay.
Thanks.
Do I share the other thing that I was?
Sure.
Okay, like the okay. I wanted to talk about a meaningful way we could show, this was meant for the last board meeting. That's okay. A meaningful way to show appreciation to our teachers. Mr. Isaacson actually kind of gave me this idea. Throughout the semester, teachers go above and beyond, not just by teaching their curriculums, but by understanding, supporting, or not by, but sorry, but by being understanding, supportive, and inspiring to students. These are the teachers who make students feel seen, motivated, and comfortable asking for help, and whose impacts last beyond the classroom. The teachers, the idea is to take. Sorry. The idea is to take a student vote on a Google form where students can vote for the teacher that they believe has been the most impactful, understanding, and inspiring during the semester. This gives students a voice and allows appreciation to come directly from those who are affected most. The teacher who receives the most votes would be rewarded as a way to say thank you. This could be something for their classroom, such as supplies, decorations, or something fun for their classroom, or something more general like a gift card. The given prize will also be handed with a certificate of appreciation. This is not about competition, but about recognition. It encourages positivity, strength, and teacher-student relationships, and reminds the teacher that their efforts truly matter. By taking a small step like this, we can create a more supportive and appreciative school environment for everyone. I know we have teacher appreciation week, but this is more so directed towards one teacher each semester who has made an impact on their students by encouragement, dedication, and good supportive attitude, and makes students feel comfortable and open to creating a great learning environment. And Mr. Castle told me that seniors do something similar to that. But it's for like someone like a teacher who they thought like it was throughout high school.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this would be not, it wouldn't be quite the same. It would be like at the end of every semester.
Yeah.
And then you guys would do the whole, like the seniors do the vote.
Right. Yeah. So the seniors do one, and that teacher wears a graduation robe with signatures from those seniors.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is, in addition to that, would be something each semester.
Yeah.
Would it be per grade or would it be the whole school?
That I feel like that would be up to you guys, depend like considering there would be a prize.
Sure.
So it would be coming from the school board, like the money.
Yeah, well, there we go.
So, but we don't know.
Yeah, so that's what we had to talk about that part.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, yeah, and gift cards, we all got, you might have saw me twitching, but you said gift card. It's a bit challenging, but we could work through that. And maybe there's even an organization that would donate.
Yeah.
You know,
Hint, hint.
hint, we have.
I love the supplies, the.
Yes,
Like,
supplies for a
supplies for the
classroom
classroom.
versus the gift card, yeah.
Yeah.
Something for the students.
Yeah.
Yeah, so definitely liked the idea, liked it when you emailed that to me, really liked it that you shared it out loud. Until you get to the point where the school board's gotta like contribute, so we'll work through that, but yeah, good idea,
Thank you.
yes. Okay, any questions, wonders, thoughts for our students?
Very impressed. All three of you had great shares.
Thanks, Greg.
Yeah.
And the next board meeting will have middle school students, and then it just rotates. And so we do have a senior that's one of our student reps. That I'm hoping, we have 2 juniors and a sophomore. They'll be interested in continuing next year. That really helps, I think, us with the continuity of this and working through some of the things that we are, like AI is something they're working on and some guidance. So this is the first time we've had like a project for them. And then again, if you have a question for a future meeting, you can just let me know. Okay, thanks team, appreciate it.
Thank you. Do I turn this off?
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, have a good night.
Erin, and they can ask, they know that if they have stuff that they want to talk about, they know that, right? Like
Absolutely,
what
yes.
Burley
Yep,
said tonight about
exact-
that,
yep.
okay. All right, next up, we have our Education Support Professionals Appreciation.
Yes, we have some wonderful guests here. Would you please join me if you're here as a part of the Education Support Professionals Recognition? Hey, yes. Okay, so we have some gifts. So Cynthia, here you go. Penny, Donna. Look at the order. So Kathy and Misty. Misty and Kathy. And so we have Margie's, we gotta get Margie's picture. Okay, so board directors, they make up our PSE leadership team, and could you introduce yourselves and say what your role is with the PSE leadership team, and also what you do on a daily basis for Washington Schools?
Okay, I'll start.
Okay.
My name is Cynthia Sweet. I've worked for the district now for about 18 years. I'm pretty sure next year is my last year. I think so, but.
We hear that all the time and then you just keep coming back.
But I do campus security. And I really love campus security. Because I like the detective part of it, but I like working with social emotional stuff. And there's so much of that nowadays. That helping them navigate how to deal with their feelings and emotions in a way that's more productive for them and gets them to their graduation date is really important for me. So, and then I've been PSE the whole time. Favorite part about it has always been being a rep for my building. The same thing, working with staff members on how to negotiate and get along better with whoever they're not getting along with, or if there's a discipline issue, trying to help them navigate what that looks like and all of that kind of stuff. So that's always been my favorite thing. And then somehow I ended up with vice president.
Okay, that was perfect.
And then
That was
the July-
great. Should I give you a little context
Yeah.
to Cynthia, how long she's been in the district, the current role, and then her involvement. So thanks for sharing what you just shared. Penny,
My name is Penny Porsche and I've been here in the district for about 17 years, but I also am uniquely a second generation alumni of Washington High School. And I've raised a third generation. I went to school with his brother.
Yeah.
And I raised a third generation proudly. And I also come from a Star Union family. My dad worked for the mill, for his working career and retired quite a few years ago. But anyway, and I love public education, and as a result, I have worked a lot of different types of jobs. And among them, ed tech, worked in SPED for many years, and then got involved with the Family Community Resource Center, and now currently I'm exploring life as a secretary. And then with the union, I am a secretary for the PSC as well.
Madonna,
I'm LaDonna Davis. I've been with the district 10 years plus a bunch of subbing before that. I raised 3 boys through the district. I am also security with Cynthia. We are together all day. And I'll be sad when she leaves me. I do love security. It's very busy. Which I love. It's totally for me being busy. And I am the PSC treasurer.
thank you. Yes,
I'm Misty Young. I am the PSC president, my second year. I've been with the district for, I think this is my 20th year. I do high school ASD. I had one daughter go through the district that graduated in 2017. And I know this is about PSC, but I just want to give a shout out to Shalise because she has made my job at the high school so much easier. So taking on PSC president has been very much due to Shalise.
thank you. Kathy,
I'm Kathy Sloop. I'm the district tech coordinator. I've been in the district in many different ways, about 29 years, I'm in education. I started when my children are young, left for a while and came back. And I have 3 graduates that went through our show. I'm an alumni. I graduated, my husband's an alumni, around 4 generations. The job I do to the kids. I love what I do. I love working with the families and the community and making it all come together.
great, thank
Thank
you.
you.
Okay, so this is Education Support Professionals Week. This is the proclamation by our governor. I told you, I'm gonna read it. I'm not really very good at reading these proclamations, not like our previous superintendent, so I'm just gonna summarize.
Perfect.
That what you just heard, like this level of commitment in years, in the connection to our students and to our staff, they support all of our students, these positions. We talk about our bus drivers, who are the first ones our students see. Sometimes our paraeducators who are walking students to the buses, plus the bus drivers, although last individuals they see, our secretaries, our ASB registrar, our security staff, high cap, so custodians, our facilities, our grounds. So they, you see them. I don't know if anyone really sees all that they do, and Cindy did a good job of describing supporting each other, supporting students, which is what really we are all about in all of our roles. So I appreciate you, what you do, the challenges you're faced with, you take those head on. And we do have a partnership. I feel really good about the relationship the PSC has with district office and our staffs. They work together. At times, it's challenging. I think these are classified positions, and there's an opportunity for a voice. So I think we try to get everyone's input and feedback. And so we do that through labor management. We do that through teams at the buildings, where representatives or individuals have representation from PSC. So thank you for all you do this week. I do know that there are treats and buildings. I was at the cake reunion today. It's just really large cake. We had one last year here at district office for the one classified position we had. And then, we had to cut back a little bit, so we did that. So that sounds somewhat frustrating, but you know what? It's not about me. It's about- So you did that, there are cakes, there's all sorts of food for staff, so how we recognize, like, giving them food and treating them, so thank you for being here. They mentioned you don't have to stick around, and board, I don't know if you wanna say anything.
I do want to say, I'm legislative rep at Pratt Tiny Bed.
Okay, thank you.
I'm right there.
Yeah.
That's a big one too. We saw you up there
Yeah, we
last time.
did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for all that you do. Obviously, you guys all have unique and hard jobs. I mean, I couldn't imagine being at the high school doing what you guys do. But thank you. And thank you for all the years that you
Yes.
guys have put in. It says something about our community
I
for sure.
just want to say one more thing.
Yeah.
We do know about them studying their paths.
Got that feeling.
Thanks for not responding.
Yeah.
Right.
I saw them like, oh, we know, we know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you.
I love that.
Yeah.
Oh, they've got a system.
Oh, yeah, you got it all figured out.
Once they're in the bathroom, then they get on their phone and
How do they get it on their phone?
Maybe you have your pass system on your phones.
Yeah.
Ay, ay, ay. Right. Well,
Okay, because they're gonna eventually see.
Right.
when they
yeah.
come back.
Tap it outside the bathroom.
Mhm.
We're on to you.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Great. Next up, we've got our board and superintendent updates. I can start tonight. I feel like I never start, so I will start tonight. We had a roundtable today at Gateway Church, and we had one wonderful community member show up, and she actually shared a lot of really great things with us on how to get more community members involved. Some ideas we've kind of had, and then some she shared with us. I know that these roundtables, have been hit or miss, and we appreciate the feedback that we get from the people that do come, because we do listen, and we do try to follow up and do what they're telling us that we need to do. And so really appreciated her information. Also, of course, I have to start with my Stride shout outs. So Stride is coming, and I need volunteers. So if you or anyone like to volunteer, please let me know. Even if you're running, you can still volunteer before and after. And that's all I've got.
Great, thank you.
Yeah.
Was it me?
Oh, whoever
I don't
wants to
know
go
which
next,
one
just go.
No, I think we've got, let's see. We've got parent teacher conferences are coming up
Oh,
here shortly in a couple weeks. So for those, just everybody be on the lookout in Parent Square and get signed up on those. I think want to give a shout out for David Cook for inviting us to observe the lesson. And then for those of us who couldn't make the last one, making sure that we had plenty of notice to come and see like how the teachers are constantly working with each other to continue to improve. I'm excited to see what that brings later this month. And then on the athletic side, it is officially baseball season in Washougal. So if you're driving down this area, be careful because they're practicing late, and watch out for all the littles, but excited to get that season going.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jane. I'll say a couple words. One is I felt like we were just sitting here going, "Hey, we're starting second semester," and now I'm thinking about spring break.
I was gonna say spring break is right around.
And spring athletics, right? Both in the schools and then all the clubs and little leagues and stuff. So just kind of looking forward to that, especially with our winter with no winter that we went through. So,
We get extra days off though.
yes, there's that.
No,
Random weird ones, yeah, just saying.
So Greg, we share, each of us just kind of say something that we want to share or have something that we've come across. You do not have to tonight. It is your first night, but you're welcome to if you would like to.
I would pass.
Okay, perfect.
Really,
Yep.
but thank you for.
I passed for the first few meetings, so yes, you're good.
Yeah, and I don't have anything, so I also pass.
Perfect. All right, Aaron, you're on.
All right, and I do not pass, Greg.
No,
Ever.
he's got.
Yeah.
We appreciate your
Okay, so, and so just a little more context, Greg. The board evaluates the superintendent. And so we meet over the course of the year to discuss that evaluation. And so a few weeks ago was kind of like my mid-year, how are things going? And then in May, we talked more about my evaluation, and that's finalized in June. And so these opportunities for me to share, I consider them opportunities for me to share with the board what I'm prioritizing and sometimes what I'm doing, because it's not clear to all the board members all the time, like, what does the superintendent do? And so me sharing this, taking this opportunity twice a month, my slides are typically around things I'm prioritizing, I'm highlighting, I think are important, things that are coming up, things that have happened. And it also, I think, provides a little bit of context to what I do. So that's just a little bit of information for you, yes. So the first thing is, so as it's springtime, as you mentioned, so we are now, if you go to our website, you'll see we are advertising for TK, and a family can go to a link if they're interested in transitional kindergarten. Our dual language program. So we have a kindergarten. So here's we need to find out how many students we are interested in dual language at Hathaway. And so we have a kindergarten position or a class that we need to fill. So that's a link to the dual language program. It's also for families who might, maybe they have a first grader or a third grader. And so that just because they haven't been in the program doesn't mean they can't access the program. But there's a way to enroll into that and let us know. And then kindergarten. So we have looking for not only TK students and dual language students, but also kindergarten students. So we don't often know. So through TK, we have a good idea. We have 80 TK students. So we are pretty sure that those 80 will want to be kindergartners. But then we also don't know then who else is interested in being in kindergarten. So we have this on our website, on our Facebook page. And so pushing out enrollment information. So middle school basketball is happening right now. So this is Canyon Creek. I happened to go yesterday afternoon. We had a leadership meeting and it just worked out perfectly that there was also a middle school basketball game. So, but these are pictures that Jake Healy shared with me. So we have, I believe, one team up at Canyon Creek. So they have one more game this week and then their season has concluded. So this is middle school basketball that is supported by our community through levy because the state does not provide funding for extracurricular activities. This is Jump to Guard. So David Cook shared with me pictures from the Jump to Guard, one of their games. They have 4 teams.
Yeah.
And so 4 teams, 4 coaches. And so what they do when you have 4 teams in a league that doesn't always have 4 teams, like Canyon has 1 team. So what our ADs, which are our 2 principals, find games for these students. So we try to fill up their schedule. So and sometimes they play each other when there isn't a school that has, like Valley or who Canyon played yesterday, they have 1 team. And so when they play Jump to Guard, who has 4 teams, then we got to find other teams for them to play. Spring sports. So for spring sports at the high school, we have girls tennis, softball, baseball, girls golf, boys soccer, track and field, unified soccer. So what you see are 3 pictures. Those are all baseball pictures. And although the bottom left one has some players practicing, that was last week prior to the rains starting. But you also see that we have on the field, that's Pacific is the company we're working with, that is seeding, that is fertilizing, that aerated, and now has about 60 yards per field of sand to put on. We're waiting for dry weather. We can't put we can't get our heavy equipment on, and the Pacific, who's going to be doing it, they can't get on the field because they're going to cause damage. It's going to be ruts because it's too soft. So we're looking forward to that. As we're getting into the growing season, we should see that the field gets much better once we get some warmer days and drier days. So they'll put the sand down and they'll roll it a bunch of times. And I was there, I stopped by yesterday on my way here, and McD was there also checking it out because they helped us with the infield. So we're just replacing, like, because as it's settling, we want to add more of that diamond dust to the infield.
Are the same people doing the soccer?
Yes, and so the same
I
group
saw their
is
track.
doing the soccer field and the football field.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah.
Yep,
I didn't realize they were doing the football field too.
yes, they
Oh,
are.
cool.
Yep. So, and I don't know what the turnout is. These are our coaches, but I do not know what the turnout is for all of these high school sports. Now, middle school will have boys soccer after spring break and track and field.
Are those improvements also levy funded?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
These, well, so yes, these are also, and can also be in the capital. Yep. So a combination, but thank you. Both are supported by the community to that point. So spring sports is just so that I took these pictures because the pole vault pit was donated and mainly funded by Bill and Becky Smead. So we appreciate that because our pole vault pit needed to be replaced. So there it is, brand new pole vault pit. So we appreciate their support. So I took a visit last week to Cascadia Tech. So Greg, to the point I was making about like letting the board know, like what are some things I do? So some things I do is I do site visits. So I took pictures like those. I didn't take that picture because I'm in it. So I want to make sure, take a picture of me. So I can prove to the board that I did do this.
I'm really here.
Yeah, were you crushing that? That's me in that orange jacket. So this was a Cascadia Tech and I shared with Greg. So this was last week. And these are quarterly meetings. I was there with a bunch of superintendents. And we got to visit Building 100. So that's the top left is John Anzalone. That's criminal justice, or it's not called criminal justice. It's so law enforcement, criminal justice. I don't know if that's the exact name, but that's actually John Anzalone sparring with a student. I don't know why they were doing that. I was glad it wasn't me. The bottom left is a diesel, one of our students who I was talking to about the diesel program, because he's in the diesel program first year and he wants to do it next year. Top right is a diesel motor that they're taking apart. Bottom right, that is automotive. So that's 3 of our students that are in the automotive program. One of them who's in the redhead, that's he's a senior. He was our state championship wrestler. This is his second year in this program. This is something he wants to pursue. The other 2 are juniors. The one that's closest to me is probably not going to be in Cascadia Tech next year. He wants to play college football. And so he's a little concerned about his transcript in those courses. So he's probably not going to be in that second year program, but the one in the middle has applied. And so they've applied. They know by now if they're in it for next year because they do that early, the application process, and then they get the information. And if they don't make it, then they sometimes can be alternates for other programs or be on an alternate list if there becomes an availability, because there are too many students who apply for some of these programs.
Wow.
And I know culinary is one of them. I talked to a culinary student who was there because when we go, we also get to eat breakfast.
Mhm.
And so it's the students who provide it. And I said, are you in it next year? And she said, no, I'm not. She's, I think, a little frustrated because she was not in the second year program because there were too many students who applied. So they have a process to determine. And each district has its own number of seats. So Washington High School, we have finite number of seats in each one of these programs, just like Woodland, Hawkinson, Evergreen, Vancouver.
That's hard to.
So you're saying incentives work for breakfast?
Yes, well, I mean, that was just something
I'll come.
it's not
eat
the
next
standard.
time.
You know, that probably
There's
could happen.
food. Yeah,
That could
like,
happen, yeah.
I didn't say I don't want to.
So last week was also 5th grade band concert at CRG. This was the same night that we had Bites and Books, which is the first graders and their parents. It was an evening program. Got to have a waffle and some dino nuggets, get a book, and then there was an adult read with them. So that was through Read Northwest. So this was right before that. So our 5th grade band, they sounded so good. It was a really cool concert. I think there were probably 12 songs. It was 20 minutes or 25 minutes, and it was packed. So 5th grade band is something that is supported by the levy because the state does not provide funding for music. And so this is something that we do that not every elementary school has a 5th grade band.
And look
This
at
is
so many
something that we do.
students.
Yeah, they were so good. They had their shirts, they came in, they were very organized. She didn't have to say anything to them. They knew exactly each song that was going to happen. So I was really impressed with them. So if you're interested in helping out Unite, they are looking, every year they do a survey. So this is just a reminder, and you can go onto our website and we have the link to the survey. It doesn't take very long. And if you complete it, you're in the running for like a gift card.
I did it
So
already.
thank you. So I hope you get it.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so please support that because this helps unite in determining just kind of if is what Unite is doing, getting people's attention. Do we think it's working? And then also asking for recommendations for future events and projects. You mentioned the listening tour.
Yep.
You know, this is something that the board, as we think about next year's calendar, do we want to have listening tour events identified? And what we kind of discovered today, what an idea was the board being available at events, possibly. So maybe it's a play and it's a back to school night. Where people are already there, the board being available to have interactions. Because honestly, it's a lot of time.
Mhm.
And we have staff that attend these events and board members who attend these events. And today was phenomenal. It was one person.
But we got so much.
Last spring, we had 0 people attend. Now, I also know that I feel good about not having a lot of controversy right now. So it's this balancing, getting input, getting feedback, and you know, there are districts that are dealing with very challenging things as we are, but I mean, like much more challenging than things we're interacting with right now. So I think it's just a future conversation about, is this something we want to continue? This is the 3rd or 4th year that we've done it, and our attendance has not been, there haven't a lot of people. So finding ways for two-way communication to happen, other than it doesn't happen at the board meetings, but other places, I think that would be something we can brainstorm.
I like the events idea, right?
I did too. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So the last thing that I want to share with you is, and I was kind of talking about it when it was brought up about assessments. So this was recently published. So this roadmap to success, that is from the state. You might go, that looks a lot like our strategic.
I know, I was like, what is that?
What? And our theme? I know.
They stole it from.
Well, you know, that's kind of what I was saying, but who knows, right? So here's a copy. So the assessments on the right, those are the measurements the state is tracking. So we have regular attendance, kindergarten readiness. So the kindergarten readiness, that happens in October. Kindergarten readiness, and that is a metric that is published. Highly capable program participation, the percentage of students per district is posted. High school level math, so if they're taking a math class in 8th grade, that they can earn high school credit, that percentage is posted. Dual credit participation, participation without CTE, and then 4th grade, 8th grade, reading, math, 9th grade on track, and then 4th grade, or excuse me, 4-year graduation. So these are metrics that should be a part of our end of year presentation to you, the ends report. As the state is tracking these, they're identified in our strategic plan. Not all of them. So I want to add the math in 8th grade. If that's a metric the state is tracking.
Yeah.
And they're recognizing schools for 46 districts were recognized. So the top 25 academic achievement, academic progress were identified. Something that we shared with Sadie and Paul at our last visits to Hathaway and Gaz, we talked about the Washington State Improvement Framework, WSIF. That's a building tracking document, progress tracking document. This is the district tracking document. So when we're talking about more of this, as we move into continue this year and next year, these are all the districts that have been recognized. We are not one of them. We're not one of the 46.
Yeah.
I think that'd be something to shoot for.
I would love
to
that.
be one of the districts that are recognized for progress or our overall achievement. And then you see on the left, we have Adna, Steilacoom, White River, and Camarado, which I'm not familiar with that district, are being recognized for both achievement and academic progress. And then this is just how it shakes out over the state. The different colors, progress award, achievement award, in both. So you see where those districts are. So the bottom left corner here, This one right here, you see that one? Do you know which one that is? It's right next to us. That's Camas.
Yeah.
They're recognized. And then over here on the east side of the state, so you see they're somewhat spread out, but then also in that Seattle metro area, there's quite a few of them there. Legislative update, and that's coming up, so I'm gonna leave that up there
Okay,
because we gotta finish this. So any questions, wonders about what I shared?
no, but I like that goal.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
And then, yeah, then you see this is us, right? So this is us.
Yeah.
And if it's red, it means you went down.
Yeah.
And if it's green, it means you went up.
Yeah.
So kindergarten readiness, you think about that. So we give that to our kindergartners in October. Then the dual language access, fourth grade reading, and then high cap percentage. So you see 2025, our high cap percentage is 2.9%. We're increasing that number of students already for this year. So for 2026, it should be a larger number. Some districts are up around 10, 11, 12%. So this is available. You can look at any of the 295 school districts in the state, this document. Then eighth grade reading, eighth grade math, and then the high school level math in eighth grade. I will tell you, I did not know this is something the state was tracking. Now that I know, this is the data point. So then we'll figure out how can we increase that opportunity for students to get high school credit in the eighth grade, just like students are getting college credit in high school, getting high school credit in middle school, then getting middle school credit in elementary. I don't know where I figured that out.
Since we have a new board member, will you explain what the foundational grade level means?
Yes. Yeah, so we have the state assessment. I think you're familiar with the state assessment. It's a 4-point, so there's a 4-point scale. 3s and 4 are really meeting and at or exceeding like grade level, the number that the state has identified. Foundational includes 2s. So 2s, 3s, and 4s. So that is a recent change because what was recognized by the state of Washington, OSBI is in the state of Washington, we were measuring that level of progress with 3s and 4s. Other states are using 2s, 3s, and 4s. So we made an adjustment just the last couple of years to include the foundational includes 2s, 3s, and 4s. So we are still aiming for 3s and 4s. We're still aiming for progress. So if a student received a 2, the next year we want them to receive a 3. If they receive a 3, we want them to receive a 4. You can even have a higher 4 and a lower 4. So we're looking for progress. Yep. And then dual credit and then 4-year graduation rate. Okay, so recently published information we'll probably continue to talk about.
All right.
Okay.
Next up, we've got our legislative update.
Oh, great. So I have that up here.
There.
So we have 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday. So the projected conclusion is Thursday. My understanding is they've been in a long meeting discussing the millionaire tax. So that has really dominated like the last probably couple days for our legislative representatives. So that's something that's been, I think they've been locked in and trying to determine what's going to happen with that. So we believe that it will end on March 12th, although I did read something that said it might extend. They may need more time, but that was the identified conclusion date. We shouldn't plan on receiving more MSOC funding, which was one of our priorities, but that is not something that we should plan on having additional funds for MSOCs. We are not impacted by the LEA, levy equalization. That is not something that we benefit from, but it's something that you will hear about. Based on the formula that's used, or excuse me, the local effort assistance, that's not something that we've received from the state. We're most concerned about the impact of running START and funds being reduced. So we have a number of students who participate in running START, transition to kindergarten, and pretty sure that there's going to be an impact. We just don't know how many transitional kindergarten slots we won't have. Right now we have 80. And we have 80 students. We'll see on Thursday if we hear about it, or maybe tomorrow. We might even hear tomorrow what the budget's planning to be and what the impact of TK is going to be. I think I mentioned to you, we're already planning, because we've talked to ECAP about the possibility of bringing ECAP in, which would be additional slots. Not TK, but it would be, that is all day for students who qualify. The sales tax on services, that would be really helpful for us if that does get passed, because we currently are scheduled to be paying sales tax on outside contracts, and we don't want to do that. So we think that that's going to be passed, and then the bus depreciation will impact us. The A and B buses are the smaller ones, and then the C and D are the larger buses. And so we do a really good job of managing our fleet and that depreciation program. So we'll have to make some adjustments to this in our planning of purchasing new buses, because we've done a really good job with that transportation budget and living within that budget, which is always the goal. So not a lot of new information,
Right.
because it's still ongoing. And so once we know, it'll take us probably a few days to process those decisions, and then we'll certainly fill you in. Okay, that is all I have for that.
Thank you. All right, next up, we've got our Chartwell's presentation, and welcome back.
Yes, great. Yes, so we have Sherry Cranford, who is official position, I have it written down here, Director of Dining Services. So she's going to come up, as well as Hussein Akhtar Kavari. Is that close?
Very good.
So he supports Sherry as area director, along with all the other districts that he's responsible for. So he's going to come up, and Sherry's going to do the bulk of the presentation. But Hussein is going to join her to support. But I want you to please welcome, come on up.
You're good.
And Greg, just so you know, this is our first year working with Chartwells. The previous 4 years, we were doing our own food service. And then prior to that, it was Sodexo. So, so the 4 years we're doing our own. We made a decision last winter, early spring, to go and put it out for bid. Chartwells was awarded the contract. So we've worked closely together from that moment, getting ready for the school year. And so this is really the first presentation. I think we maybe had shared a little bit of information on numbers previously, but we're kind of halfway through the year.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
So we're gonna just do a short presentation for you, go over some numbers, some food that we're doing, and then we'll have a little Q&A kind of issue. So we're going to start with the food kids love to eat. So I highlighted our top items that we sell, the by grade level and breakfast. And then at the bottom, it shows you how many choices we offer at each building or each grade level. So some of our favorites, definitely the high school kids love our spicy chicken burgers. That's easy to grab and go. They can get the salad bar with it. Little kids, pepperoni pizza, and with that. We offer 9 to 11 choices at the high school every day. Middle school has 7 or 8, depending on the pizza option. Elementary always has 4, and then we offer at least 4 choices for breakfast.
Just want to add, every day we will include a scratch item as part of our offer. Except the pizza day, we just offer more pizza day, and there was a suggestion by Shanice that actually increased meat. She offers multiple pizza, so that's just to keep the participation up during that day. Yeah.
So the student favorites is based on what sells, right? It wasn't a
Yeah.
survey. It was like, this is what we're seeing.
Yes.
They're choosing.
This is what they're choosing.
Yeah.
But we do also have a survey, actually during the election time, the students vote for their favorite food.
And then, so they practice their democratic
I love that.
rights. But take those decisions and then translate it into action where we will put those items more often.
Great.
So in this, we talk about our current promotion is Bloom into Breakfast. And some of the featured ideas or items that we have, we did a breakfast nacho last week, which they really liked. They thought it was fun. It was just our house-made sausage with tater tots, and then we had scrambled eggs on top, and they loved that. And apple pie overnight oats, which is going to be on the menu the last week of March to try and see. It seems to be a big hit, and so we're going to see how that goes. And then our breakfast burritos, we're going to do our house-made sausage again, or alternate with bacon, egg, cheese, and potato, and they really like the breakfast burritos as well. Some of the things that go into this, our meal planning, we try to create ideas that are fun, things that kids are going to like, and they eat with their eyes. So when they walk up and they see something that looks good, they're going to try it. Our kids are great. They love to try new things. They are pretty open to it. So that's a good thing. And then having the multiple options gives the students a chance to have different things. If one doesn't like a sandwich, they can have a salad, or they don't like the scratched item, they can have one of our fun favorite. Part of the promotion with like the Bloom into Breakfast is that we try to do seasonal things. We have which we'll talk about in the next slide, but we have, things that are local and fresh. So we'll try to incorporate those in the time, in the appropriate time. And then this just explains, we do feature several different local foods. Again, we have the breakfast burritos. That is sausage from Pure Country Farms out of Union Gap. So that's a local farm that we got the pork from. And then we make our own scratch, season it up, and cook it up. We do the blueberry breakfast parfaits, which are from Sakuma Brothers in Burlington. And then we have the strawberries and raspberries are from Bidhu Farms out of Puyallup. And we also have featured our bison that's out of Nissa and Vale, Oregon. And that's just a snapshot of some of the local that we're providing. And then the secret fun part of participation. So far, we have served 99,124 lunches this school year. That's from September 1st to the end of February. It is. So we're close to the 100,000 mark. 28,725 breakfasts and 4,069 a la carte items. Our breakfast participation has increased 52.6% over last year with having choices and options. And our lunch participation has increased 35.4%. We have an amazing staff. They're dedicated, they are engaged with the students, they care, so that is a huge success factor for this. And then managing between the lines by myself, Hussein, and then my team is just phenomenal. I can't say enough about them. We have the great support of the district and the board, our principals and admin. And so it really helps. And then I have a team with Chartwell's behind me that helps with building these slideshows that I could not do on my own. Just a great toolbox that I can use through that.
So real quick, so these percentages we see pretty substantial increase. And we have declining enrollment. So we have fewer students this year than we had last year. So when you calculate the percentages, it's the total number of meals, right? So this was a big increase. And are you surprised like by the breakfast? Because you were here last year, like, you think it's the variety of options?
It's the variety of options. I am not surprised by the participation increase. They like the variety. They feel like they get to make a choice. They get to pick, of course they all love cereal, but if they want to opt scrambled eggs, that's another favorite. So they can choose between the different options, and they really like to make that selection. I didn't think it helps. Surprised? No, I don't know. But that's
kind of what we thought.
Kind of what what I thought would happen for sure.
Yep. And then Well, we'll see the next slide, because you have a breakdown of these numbers, at different levels.
By building per
Yeah.
month.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So.
Yeah.
That's fair. Okay. So this breaks it down September through February by building, and some of our buildings, the ones with the most growth, are Cape Horn Sky. Prior to this year, they weren't part of the free for elementary, the House bill. And this year they are, and that really was the catalyst for their increase of participation. The high school participation is up, which we're down in students, but they are eating, they love the options, they're, even with the longer or their single lunch, we were concerned about that. And it's been great, they're doing really well, they're selling quite a few lunches.
So a single lunch, so there might be some lines when you have single lunch.
They're getting the students through relatively quickly. They'll sell between 175 and about 210 meals a day in under 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So they're really.
So a line that doesn't really seem to be, that seems reasonable. And then at Jump to Guard, where we have 2 lunches, right?
We have 2 lunches at Jump to Guard, and they do combined, they sell about 175 meals between the 2 lunches. And they have a little bit bigger service area, but they get them right through. They're all seated or having their lunch
fast.
in.
I've seen them in
within
action.
7 or 8 minutes.
Yeah,
probably.
that's really good.
Really done.
And we had talked about going to 1 lunch there. I'm glad that we didn't. Haas's recommendation was not to do that.
Yeah.
And so as we plan for next year, we'll see. I still think we don't want to do that because, we don't want to wait in line.
And there are
Get frustrated. Go ahead.
They do a 1 lunch, like they get a reward day and they do a 1 lunch, and they still break up the flow a little bit, so it's not 400 students at one time.
Okay.
But I would want to say also that when we first started, the lines were a little slower, so we collaborated with the principal and the team at the school, and of course, Sherry and our team, to kind of come up with ideas, move things around to increase the speed, because they want to enjoy their social time, so if they're staying too long in the cafeteria line, they just say, forget about lunch,
Yeah.
do something else.
Yeah, especially middle school.
So I apologize, that's difficult to read. So that's kind of explains our lunch story. February, you can see the increases. This sort of lull is typical every year. It's just what you plan for, with the holidays and flu and all the things, vacations and stuff, it always peaks and then goes down a little bit and then starts to climb back up. And you'll see it continue to climb through the end of the year. Breakfast, the blue line that's really high is Cape, because they're 180% at some of their on some of their months of increased participation. The low line is CCMS. They've never had a great breakfast participation. A lot of it is just the flow and the nature of their building. They have the smaller student body and they have a lot of drop-offs. So there's other things that impact their breakfast participation. And then, of course, the high school at the very beginning of the year is always a little bit lower. The kids want to see their friends after the summer and interact. So, but we've had great participation increases in breakfast. Like we talked about, they're liking the choices and.
Maybe you can send this to us so we can see it a little bit closer. Yeah, if that's okay.
That is.
So you want to talk about
Cheers? So we also have a program that we do for our staff to nominate somebody in the district. And so this month, our Cheers nomination, it's like celebrating successes, is Nancy Sonneson. And she has been with us for 28 years, 28 and a half years. She's my right hand. She helps me with everything. She knows the drill. She can make anything we come up with. So I nominated her this month just for her tenacity, just being there,
willingness to do whatever and help out in a pinch and just, so when somebody gets recognized regionally, that's
So we have recognition at every district level, and then we will have a recognition on the regional level. So we haven't decided on the regional level, but she's a very strong nominee. I wanted to add a couple of things if I may. First of all, I want to just say that this lady is doing an amazing job, and it's really exciting to have somebody who lived in this community. Her heart is in the right place. I think our partnership has been amazing for us. We have an amazing, very transparent partners, both with the superintendent and our business manager, who kind of share their pain points with us. We share our pain points with them. We work collaboratively to make sure that we have success. We have a win-win relationship. And that have really helped us a lot. But basically, Erin removed all the roadblocks and the barriers for us to be successful together. So we predicted some of these things would happen based on what's going on in other districts in our area. We've achieved our intentional goal for the lunch participation. As I predicted, that lunch will be about 1,100, and we actually beat our target for lunch, but we still have some more to do on the breakfast. So, we've been studying a little bit about the breakfast participation, and what I found is you have a very proud community here that will cook breakfast for their children and send them out to school. So that happens a lot here. As the family, there's a lot more family ties, and parents are doing that. In some other places, they send them off on the bus and they get their meals in school, which we will be prepared to do. Our job is to make sure that we provide them with the best choices, but we are not going to push them in a point where we wanted to force them to eat something. So we want to provide them with the choices, but we cannot always succeed in everything that we want to do if they are satisfied with the meals they eat at home. But they have good choices with them.
We have a lot of drop-offs too, I feel like, in our community. I mean, I am definitely one of those parents, and I know that we have a long line, especially at JMS. So I'm guessing that might be, and I know even in CRGE, I think there's a lot of drop-offs too, at least in this area. I only know this area because this is where I'm from, but we have a lot of drop-offs. And I feel like that would probably affect that, right? So,
It does.
Yeah.
My wife dropped,
right.
she drops my daughter like 2 minutes before the bell.
Exactly. My kid's running in pretty fast.
So it's,
This is recorded, by the way, so you gotta be careful with that kind of stuff.
But the reality is, they have choices.
Right.
And the parents know that they have good choices for the students based on what the parents want to feed the children.
Yeah.
But I want to say, I want to give all the credit goes to this lady and the team that are working on it.
We know.
So, thank you. Any other thoughts, wonders, questions?
That's great. Thanks for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so this is, the numbers are impressive. And although you had predicted they would probably be that, I'm glad to see that they are that. Part of this is like, this decision was based on just the cost. And so as we're tracking that, we will give the board an update probably in June as we approach the end of the year. They will not be providing meals during summer, so it really will be like the last day of school, and then we'll make sure you get updated on just how to go.
Yeah.
And so I do appreciate Sherry's understanding of the district, the individuals that she supports, and that's been very helpful. It was really a smooth transition because of her knowledge and her work ethic, and for all these reasons, it's been successful, as you've recognized that. And then Haas is accessible and does work well with us, I believe. And so anytime I call, if he doesn't pick up right away, it's pretty quick that he gets back to us. And so that accessibility is very helpful, especially when you're new. It's a new partnership. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
And you'll share that with us. I think we have it. So then we'll make sure you get it and it'll be posted.
Perfect.
As well.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Yes. Thank you. All right. Next up, we have a new policy, which would be policy 1240, committees, and this will be our first reading on this one.
Yeah, so policy 1240, and so I think you've had an opportunity to look at it, Greg. You haven't, we'll make sure that you can. And so this one just identifies that the Washington School District will have committees. And that these, it's a pretty basic one that just establishes what that there could be, in this case, 2 board members on this committee. When we have 3 board members, then that becomes a challenge because we're making any types of decisions. We have a quorum, and so we want to avoid that situation. So this really just identifies it in quantum and puts it in writing that we won't have more than 2 participating for one of these committee groups. So it again, didn't have this, so that's why it's new. I think it's important.
Yeah.
Because we have this this group, resource optimization work group, and there could be some other committees that
Agree.
form.
Yeah.
Based on information that you want to gather. There are lots of examples in districts that are our neighbors of these types of committees. So I don't know if you have any wonders, questions about this or not. This is WASD's model policy 1240 that hasn't been changed at all.
No, you answered. The only question I had was just where would the ROW fit? Because we have another policy we're going to be looking at, and just which one does it go into?
Right.
You made that clear. So thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So then we get into policy 4110. And so this gets into, and I included the procedure. And so Greg, the procedure, but we don't always have the policies and procedures published, but in some cases we do, where you'll see they're together. We don't always have a procedure to a policy. We don't always publish the procedure to policies that are published, but we always have policies published. And we'll get into that as far as like the onboarding. We'll talk more about our policies, our procedures. Policy is revised, any revision the board approves, any new policy the board approves. Procedures, we update. We let the board know that we're updating, but the board doesn't rule on a procedural change. But we want to include the board when there's a procedural change. And that procedure shouldn't conflict with the policy. So this one, when you look at this one, it's really more, it's similar to the last one. It just gets into more of the details on when these committees or task force are formed. And in this one, making it clear that it's not, this committee is not making a decision. This committee is formulating a recommendation. And it isn't super clear in here. If you get down to the sentence, second sentence, it says the committee will study district school topics and submit their findings and recommendations to the superintendent and or the board. That might be something we want to discuss, because as a superintendent, it would be challenging for me if a committee that I'm not a part of makes a recommendation to the board. So that, and this is the model policy that has not been revised. I did make some edits to the procedure that I can point out. So it's just in that and or, and that being understood. And we also don't want this to be a committee that makes a decision, because if there's 2 board members on it and they're making a decision, then it's gonna be a challenging conversation with the other board members.
Right.
And so we've had some conversation about this particular committee that's been meeting, the ROW, or Resource Optimization Work Group, because as getting ready to put this together, not all the board members were kept up to date. And so we want to avoid where a board member or board members are not clear on what the purpose is. And so just we'll talk about that through the onboarding on how boards communicate individually and what's required, things to avoid. And so these decisions aren't being made, but they're made here publicly.
Yes.
So any wonders about this one? So it really is, the ROW is the best example.
Yeah.
We also have
New.
our instructional adoption committee has a board member on it. And I think is also another example of this that's already in policy. That's how decisions are made with a board member on it. There's recommendations to the board from that work. So when we get into the procedure, it's just more the specifics to it. And that we're always with these committees, we're always identifying what's the purpose, what's the length of the time they're gonna be working together. How often are they meeting? When are the meetings? And then this one talks more specifically to, it's a recommendation to the superintendent, who will then present the recommendation to the board. And at times, making sure that the board is understanding what the committee is doing and how the progress is. Okay, any wonders, questions? Okay. So if there aren't any, if you have edits after this meeting, just let me know what those are,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, next up, we've got policy 5011, which is the sexual harassment of district staff prohibited. This will be also a first reading on this.
So yeah, this is a current policy that we have. These are recommended revisions by WSD based on statutes being updated. So these are WSDA's recommendations to the changes. And similar to the student one, or HIB, which was student to student, this one really identifies that this is like district staff.
Mhm.
And so I don't know if you've had a chance to look at it. There aren't that many changes on the first page, just referencing the Title IX
Yeah.
Act. Then a couple updates that you can see. Again, mentioning staff.
Right.
Then the bottom of page 2, this policy applies to sexual harassment, including sexual violence. And then it also references that second paragraph that's in red is we have a student policy in the 3000
Right.
series. So if it involves a student, then it's going to be that 3000 series, not this series, which is for staff.
Right.
Yep.
And then we've had other revisions recently about on page 3, the reports to discrimination based on sexual and identifying what are those protected classes. So that's been something we've been doing this year, is updating all the policies that pertain to have that update.
Right.
Okay.
I do not have any questions on this one. Do you guys?
No, straightforward.
Yep.
All right.
Sir. Okay.
Well, that's it.
Is that it for tonight, everybody? Yeah. All right. It is 7:57. Meeting is adjourned.
Right. Thank you.